Skydiving. It's a thrilling experience, a dance with danger that attracts adventurers from all walks of life. But what happens when you're lifeline in the sky? Your parachute fails to deploy. While parachute malfunctions are incredibly rare, they're not unheard of. So, buckle up, take a deep breath, and let's explore the world of skydiving survival. Before we delve into the heart-stopping scenarios of parachute failures, let's take a look at the very equipment that keeps skydivers safe: the parachute system. At the heart of this system are two primary components: the main parachute and the reserve parachute. The main parachute is what you typically see billowing in the sky, a large canopy designed for a controlled and comfortable descent. However, like any piece of equipment, malfunctions can occur. That's where the reserve parachute comes in, your backup lifeline in case the main parachute fails. The main parachute, a symbol of skydiving itself, is a marvel of engineering. At its core is the canopy, a large aerodynamic surface typically made of high-strength nylon. Connecting the canopy to the skydiver is a network of strong suspension lines. Before each jump, the parachute is carefully packed into its container, a process that requires meticulous attention to detail. This rigorous packing process, often performed by certified professionals, is a crucial aspect of skydiving safety. While the main parachute represents the primary means of descent, the reserve parachute stands as the silent guardian. The reserve parachute, often referred to as simply the reserve, is housed in a separate container within the skydiver's rig. It undergoes even more rigorous inspections and packing procedures than the main parachute. Its deployment sequence is optimized for speed and effectiveness. The packing of the reserve parachute is entrusted only to highly trained and certified riggers. In the world of skydiving, where every second counts, human judgment and skill are paramount. But even the most experienced skydivers aren't infallible, and there are situations where technology can intervene. One such system is the Automatic Activation Device, or AAD. If a skydiver descends below a certain altitude at an unsafe speed, the AAD automatically triggers the reserve parachute deployment. Another crucial automatic safety feature is the Reserve Static Line, or RSL. The world of skydiving is filled with stories of daring feats and breathtaking beauty, but it also holds tales of incredible survival. One such story is that of Joan Murray, an experienced skydiver who faced every jumper's worst nightmare. In 1999, during a routine jump, Joan's main parachute malfunctioned. The reserve parachute deployed, but it was not a clean deployment. Joan landed on a fire ant mound, and the ant stings triggered a surge of adrenaline that kept her heart beating and her blood flowing. Michael Holmes, a seasoned skydiver, found himself at the center of an extraordinary survival story during a skydiving trip to New Zealand in 2006. His main parachute malfunctioned, and to his horror, the reserve parachute also malfunctioned. Plummeting towards the earth, Michael spotted a patch of dense vegetation, a thicket of blackberry bushes. He steered his body towards the bushes, bracing for impact. The dense foliage absorbed much of the impact force, leaving him battered and bruised, but miraculously alive. Wartime tales of survival: Ivan Chisov and the Snowy Ravine. In 1942, amidst the chaos of the Eastern Front, Ivan Chisov's plane was going down. With no time to react, he ejected, his parachute ripped and tangled from enemy fire. Plummeting from 22,000 feet, Ivan's descent path intersected with a deep ravine blanketed in snow. The snow cushioned his impact, absorbing much of the force that would have otherwise been fatal. Defying the odds, Alan Magee and the train station roof. In 1943, during a bombing raid over France, Alan's B-17 Flying Fortress was severely damaged. As he jumped from the bomber, his parachute was shredded by shrapnel. Plummeting towards the earth, he blacked out, crashing through the glass roof of the Saint-Nazaire train station. The glass roof absorbed some of the impact force, creating a cascade of broken glass that further cushioned his fall. Human error, the weakest link. Parachute failures often stem from preventable causes, with human error at the top of the list. One of the most common causes is improper packing. A small mistake during packing can have catastrophic consequences during deployment. Every skydiver should meticulously inspect their gear before each jump, ensuring a safe jump. When gear fails, equipment malfunctions. While human error plays a significant role in parachute failures, it's not the only culprit. Even with meticulous packing and pre-jump checks, there's always the possibility of equipment malfunction. Parachutes, like any piece of equipment subjected to extreme forces and conditions, can fail. And when they do, the consequences can be dire. One of the most terrifying equipment malfunctions is a line twist. During deployment, the suspension lines connecting the parachute canopy to the harness can become entangled, preventing the parachute from fully inflating. This can result in a rapid and uncontrolled descent, leaving the skydiver with limited options for recovery. Another dreaded malfunction is a partial deployment, often referred to as a streamer. In this scenario, the parachute deploys but does not fully inflate, creating a long streaming shape that offers minimal drag and little control. Streamers can occur due to various factors, including damage to the canopy, improper packing, or line twists. Failures in the parachute's deployment system can also lead to malfunctions. The pilot chute, a small parachute that pulls the main parachute from its container, can malfunction, preventing the main parachute from deploying. Similarly, problems with the bridle, the connecting lines between the pilot chute and the main parachute, can also hinder proper deployment. The unthinkable, when your lifeline fails. Imagine this. You've just leaped from the plane, the wind screaming past you as you savor the adrenaline rush of freefall. You glance at your altimeter, judging the distance to the ground. It's time to deploy your main parachute and enjoy a controlled descent back to Earth. You pull the ripcord, but nothing happens. Panic surges through you as you realize the unthinkable. Your parachute has malfunctioned. In this heart-stopping moment, your mind races, torn between disbelief and the primal instinct to survive. The ground, once a distant sight, seems to rush towards you with alarming speed. Every second counts. Your survival depends on swift thinking, decisive action, and a healthy dose of luck. But panic is not an option. Now is the time to channel your fear into focus, to draw upon every ounce of training and instinct you possess. The next few moments will be the most critical of your life. Your survival hinges on a combination of skill, luck, and the ability to make life or death decisions under unimaginable pressure. But even in the face of such a terrifying scenario, hope is not lost. There are steps you can take, strategies to increase your chances of survival, even if your parachute fails to deploy. The key is to stay calm, assess the situation, and act decisively. Your life depends on it. Fighting for every second immediate actions. Immediate action is paramount when a parachute malfunctions. Every second wasted brings you closer to the ground. Take a deep breath, regain your composure, and focus. Try to deploy your main parachute again. If unresponsive, deploy your reserve parachute. The reserve parachute is designed for rapid deployment. Section 3. The final frontier, impact survival. Even if both your main and reserve parachutes fail, there are still ways to increase your chances of surviving the impact. The key is to minimize your descent speed and choose a landing spot that offers some degree of cushioning. This is where your knowledge of the terrain below becomes a matter of life or death. Scan the ground below and try to steer your body towards a softer landing area. Trees, snowdrifts, swamps, even dense bushes can help absorb some of the impact force. Avoid hard surfaces like roads, buildings, and rocky terrain at all costs. If you find yourself heading towards an unavoidable hard surface, try to minimize the impact area by aiming for a point that will break your fall. The edge of a roof, a parked car, anything that can help dissipate the force of the impact. As you approach the ground, position your body for impact. If you're landing on land, try to land feet first, with your knees slightly bent to absorb the shock. Tuck your chin to your chest to protect your head and neck, and prepare to roll upon impact to distribute the force over a wider area. If you're landing in water, aim for a feet-first entry, keeping your body straight and tight. Protect your nose and mouth with your hands to prevent water from rushing in upon impact. Navigating nature's obstacle course, trees, water, and urban landscapes. In a perfect world, every skydiver would land safely within a designated drop zone. But when the ground rushes up, your survival instincts kick in. Trees can be your unlikely allies in a parachute failure. Aim for a dense canopy to break your fall. Water can be as unforgiving as concrete at high speeds. Aim for a feet-first entry to minimize impact. Urban environments present the most daunting landing challenges. Scan for cushioning rooftops, awnings, even parked vehicles. Using the terrain to your advantage. Adapt to your environment and turn obstacles into strategic advantages. Think on your feet to increase your chances of survival. In a forest, aim for gaps in the canopy. Use your arms and legs to steer clear of branches. Assess water depth and avoid shallow areas. In urban areas, aim for soft landing spots like sloped roofs or hedges. The importance of preparation and resilience. Skydiving teaches us valuable lessons beyond extreme sports. It underscores preparation, resilience, and confronting fears. Embrace safety protocols to transform fear into confidence. Respect risks, adhere to safety standards, and enjoy the joy of flight.